Me and Maggie, Margaret and I, we met but one, so very long ago, but that thread still stands because of one decisive moment when I took the picture. I had just left university, finished graduate in chemistry, nothing outstanding. I knew I didn't want to work in a lab. Anyway, I was back at my parents' home in the Garden in the Scottish Highlands, and one day my dad mentioned, he'd been asked to stand in for the council to represent Garden because Mrs. Thatcher was coming up to Aviemore and taking the Strathspey steam train to Garden. It seems that the local councillor at that time said he wouldn't be seen dead in Margaret Thatcher's presence. Well, his loss was my dad's dubious honour. Anyway, come the day, my dad went off to Aviemore and I decided to wander down to the station and see if I could take some photographs. I just decided to dabble in photography kind of hobby. Anyway, as I got down there, I asked the policeman, can I go over there? And just at that point, Mrs. Thatcher came out the station and was heading towards the car. But first she stopped to talk to people. And I said, can I go down and take a picture? Yeah, on you go. Oh, the press. It was like a rugby scum. Anyway, in those days, you just had film. 36 exposure. And I tried to take a few pictures. I was getting bumped about by the press photographers. It was awful. Anyway, suddenly I only have one exposure left and I thought, what am I going to do? I decided, you know what, I'll go over to the car and just wait for her to come in, thinking she might smile before she gets into the car. So I went over to the police officer, said, can I stand by the car and take the picture? He said, yeah, on you go. So I stood there waiting, and then eventually Margaret Thatcher would come over with Dennis behind her, and I was shouting at her, Mrs. Thatcher, look this way please, Mrs. Thatcher, look this way. She wasn't quite sure what to do because there was so much noise around her, but she sort of noticed me, smile, click, that was the moment. I got it. In fact, recently a press photographer, retired one, said to me he recognised a few camera guys in the background and he knew the two security guards on the side of the photograph. So, there you go. Anyway, I long forgot about it. I decided, you know what, not really that big a deal. I didn't realise what I had taken. So, but many years later, late 90s, I happened to show it to a BBC commissioning editor, and he said, can you get that picture enlarged and mounted in frame and we'll pay for it? So I said, okay. Didn't charge them much, didn't really fully appreciate the value of the photograph. Anyway, they took it, I thought no more about it. A few weeks later I got a letter from Downing Street, and I was thinking, maybe I know in Downing Street. I opened the letter up and it was a letter written by Margaret Thatcher saying, Gordon Rees had passed on to me this wonderful photograph which you took in 1984 when I was touring Scotland. You managed to capture the moment perfectly, indeed much better than many of the professionals who were left in the background. Clearly you have an eye for the picture. And I wish you every success in the future. Margaret, the Lady Thatcher, OM, PT, FRS. Not often you get a letter saying, what a wonderful photograph. And I suppose from that day onward, Maggie and I were just like that. However, the point I'm making is, what makes a good photograph? How do you get a good photograph? Most of us don't think ahead in that thing. We think we just turn up, press the camera, point and shoot, so to speak. But sometimes it's all about thinking on your feet, thinking when is a good moment going to be the best time to take the picture. And when you've only got 36 exposure, you've got to make sure each exposure counts. So for people taking up reportage, deep photography, portrait photography, I would say think, what's the decisive moment? You get that right, you've got a fantastic photograph. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you do enjoy it, please press subscribe to my YouTube channel, Decisive Moment, surprisingly, and I look forward to showing you more pictures in the future. Thank you.